woke up this morning, not used to this feeling. There's nothing standing in my way no more. The sun is still breathing, the sea is bleeding. I'm living in a brand new day. Come on, oh, come on, yeah.
Rock City Network's Faster Louder coming to you from the Parmelia Hilton in Perth. It's for the One Movement Festival. And joining me, Arjun Sankalia, if I've got it correctly.
You got it correct.
And you're the director of international music, and is it like special events or special products?
Special products. What we call special products in our company is basically the company in India, you focus on Bollywood. Sure. And then there's everything outside of Bollywood. Yeah. So outside of Bollywood, there's international music, which is a big chunk of what I do. And special products are things like Indian classical music, new age, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, and obviously for everyone out there that I didn't elaborate on, this is for Sony Music, of course.
Yeah, this is for Sony Music in India. Yeah.
Now, let's just start out by, I guess it's a get to know here at One Movement. Your background and how you worked your way into Sony Music.
Well, I grew up between the ages of 8 and 12 in New York, New Jersey. Yeah. So I kind of grew up on things like American Top 40, and I was kind of like the brown kid trying to fit in. So then that's when I developed the love for music, and specifically all the glam metal bands like Motley Crue out of the 80s.
Yeah.
Then I came back to India in about 85. Then about in 1990, when I was in my first year of university, a bunch of friends and we started a little mobile discotheque outfit, a mobile DJ. So I was actually a DJ for about from 1990 to 1999. And then I worked in advertising for 3 years. I always wanted to be in the music business. Then Sony set up shop in 1997 in India, and I joined in 1999 as specifically on making international music compilations. And then I've grown in the company, and now I look after everything international, promotions, compilations, artists, everything.
Yeah. Now it's interesting as we're all learning here, talking to everybody from the Asia regions, is the music industry works a little differently in India, but not too far removed from how we're used to it in the Western market. Could you explain just how bands get themselves out there, marketing strategies and that sort of thing, because they are quite different?
Actually, yeah. Till maybe 5 or 8 years ago, and it still is. I mean, like the big monster or the lion's share of market share in India still goes to Bollywood music. But you got to understand that, in the country of 1 billion people, even if 1% or 2% are into international music, that's still 2 million people or 20 million people. I don't know. Sorry about the math. Yeah. But that's still a sizable amount of people that are into international music. There's been a media boom. So everybody looking for content. And I think with the rise of the internet, and specifically like Facebook, it's really given a fillip to the local indie scene, because it's so easy now to make people aware that you're doing a gig. Sure. A lot of bands are interacting with their fans directly through Facebook and Twitter and things like that. And even venues, there's not enough, but there are definitely more venues than there were in the past, and that's going to grow. Radio is going to grow. There's going to be maybe another 800 radio stations opening up maybe over the next 5 years.
800?
800, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Right now we only have 200, and they're all exclusively Bollywood or Bollywood focused.
When you say Bollywood focused, do you mean focusing on the music coming from the films?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. 70% of all music that is sold in India is music from films.
Okay.
Yeah. And because of things like licensing laws and licensing rates, everybody was forced to play Bollywood. Now I think with some changes in licensing laws and revenue shares and stuff, it's going to allow radio to become more niche. So I think there's going to be a lot of stations opening up, which are going to be maybe local focused, Indian classical. In the big cities, you could have somebody doing top 40 international music, things like that.
Yeah, sure. Now, when these radio stations do start to pop up, and it's going to be a lot of them, how does Sony as a label service? Will you try and service all of those radio stations to promote the music? Or?
Yes, we will.
And how do you get your head around the logistics of servicing 800 radio stations? Is it merely an email database? Is it that simple, or does it get more difficult than that?
It's a combination of both. In terms of servicing, I think it's increasingly electronic, but we do like to send people physical stuff that we have on a mailing list, because I still think people do like to receive things that they can touch and feel.
Yeah.
The logistics of it, I guess, in terms of servicing them in terms of relationships, then I think we'll be having, it's like how we service the mobile, because there's like 600 million people on the mobile phone in India, and they all want ringback tones and stuff like that. So it's a combination of travel and regular touch. And I think now with the internet, it's just so easy to stay in touch with people.
Yeah, so those numbers aren't quite, staggering as they are, they're not quite that staggering to overcome as far as promoting stuff.
Like I said, it comes back to the internet.
Sure.
It's just made the whole world so easy.
Yeah. Now, how did the I guess music scene come about? As I understand, there was a lot of college shows and a lot of stuff like that before you started getting venues popping up and having artists being able to play at other venues.
Yeah.
What was the process of that, going from the universities into sort of like, I guess, commercial clubs and bars? How did that process get to there?
Actually, I think it happened maybe 6 or 7 years ago when these venues actually started to prop up. And what I like about these new venues is that they've all got like a stage, and they're all got a good sound system and lights. So it's just what I call them plug and play.
Yeah.
So it just erases the logistics of hiring a field and getting about 25 permissions, security, fire, police, etc., etc., etc. So that's when the move happened from the college circuit into actually a kind of a gigging culture that's begun to pop up in maybe 6 to 8 cities now.
Yeah. And what are those cities, just for a reference?
The big cities. There's Bombay, there's Delhi, there's a college town which is about 3 hours by car from Bombay called Pune. Then there is in the south, you've got the tech hubs, which is Bangalore and Hyderabad, and there's Chennai, and there's the northeastern part of India. There's 7 states which kind of border Tibet and Burma. The scene over there, it's a completely different country. It's unlike anything anybody from India has ever seen.
Really?
And they're not into Bollywood, and like there's an annual I think a concert that happens every year on Bob Dylan's birthday, which attracts like 30,000 people and things like that.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now let's move out of India and the process of promoting artists out of India to the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. What's the plan of attack?
What's the plan of attack? That's actually a difficult question, which I haven't completely got my head around that.
Yeah.
I think it's starting with places like this, and actually there's actually been Indian bands, like Indian rock and Indian metal bands playing in festivals in Europe. An Indian metal band, I think, called Demonic Resurrection, I think won an award, Best International Band, either from Kerrang or something. I'm not completely
or Metal Hammer, possibly?
I think Metal Hammer or Kerrang, one of the two.
Okay.
Best International Band came out of India. So I think it's happening where I think the Indian bands are now getting connected through conventions like this, and conventions that happen in maybe the UK and stuff, and bands are going there and they're getting opportunity to showcase and play, and some bands even have management which is out of Europe.
Yeah.
So it helps them get gigs and connections and touring in Europe.
Yeah, well, it's all a very mind-boggling aspect for a lot of people in the Western market to this point. But look, that's what One Movement's about.
Yeah.
And it's great to be able to meet people like yourself and other people from around the world here, and to be able to push that music, especially from the Asia regions.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to thank you so much for your time. It's been
Thank you.
absolute pleasure, and
Thank you.
hopefully we can get over there soon and come and see how it all works. It'd be fantastic if we get over to
Absolutely.
India.
We should do a convention in Goa.
Yeah?
It'll be a lot of fun.
Excellent. You can show me around some places over there?
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, Arjun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Arjun, Director of International Music and Special Products for Sony India. This is Rock City Networks from One Movement 2010. We'll be back with some more soon.